persuasion check, and you will all
Who
get
are
to
we
roll
persuading?
together.
The guards?
The guards, yeah. The people around her.
Shit.
And you're not going to be able to persuade everybody.
I'll persuade the paper office.
Holy shit, I rolled a nat 20.
Of course you did.
So did I!
Holy shit! Okay, so what happens? She rolls a nat 20, you roll a nat 20. You know what's going to end up happening then? Is there's going to be a major power play in... Actually, I just read that. Power play. There's going to be a major power play in terms of there's going to be a random amount, or maybe I should just say half and half, of the guards are going to be on Tal's side. And the other half are going to be on...
It's going to be a goddamn bloodbath.
Yeah, if you guys fight, yeah, absolutely.
It still doesn't have to be a fight yet.
No, it hasn't reached that point, but you kind of get the idea that you have just sown, or both of you, in fact, even Chalaska, she's not unguilty in this particular scenario, sown dissent in amongst the guards of this damn place, right? So they don't know who really to follow. Tal, you've got an allocation of guards, and Chalaska has her allocation of guards. This, yeah, it's what do you want to do? Chalaska says, I think I'll have Chalaska speak first. She says, "This is insane. You guys, after these many years, you don't trust in me." And she gets no response from that. And so she just shoulders past. She's like, "Get out of my way. Move. I'm going to go collect my things."
Collect your things.
We'll let her.
Okay.
She's collecting her things. She's still got the keys.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Are we letting her walk away with the keys to the vault?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
So wait, this is like, whoa.
So,
what do you mean?
I don't know the
collect
key
your
situation,
things?
so yeah, you got to butt in here.
Yeah, you're going to have to say something
So,
about it.
Chalaska, you've got the keys, and again, you are setting yourself up to look like you're a guilty party. You really need to stop and think this through.
She grabs the
We
keys.
understand
rips.
we understand you're nervous. We understand we've been stepping on your toes, being hired by your boss behind your back. We get all that. But we're leaving. This is your life and your future you're talking about. You are setting now it looks like you want to leave with the keys. And I hope the rest of your guards are hearing this.
All right,
We're saying
she
together.
Thought you
we
were on
work
her side,
together.
and she is totally just went like, yeah, she is totally getting it out. Like, you are never on her side. So I'm just gonna roll a dexterity throw. Okay, she rolls poorly. She takes the keys out of her pocket and she just flings them at Tal. Says, "Here, you want to follow her? Then follow her." Tal, you can try to roll really high to catch them, but they might be out of your reach.
She's flinging the keys at who?
At you.
Oh,
She's giving you
okay.
the keys.
Dex, what did you say we have to roll?
A dex save to grab the keys in midair, or let them fall and pick them up, whatever.
Yep. Right. That's actually good enough. There's
Yes,
no
Chandler,
way
she's
reasonable
leaving with the
for
keys.
you kind of just bound up the wall just a touch and just kind of jump off of it and just deftly grab the keys and throw them in your pocket. It looked like nothing to you. You were just like, well, that was kind of a poor throw, and you were just like, nah. You're just too badass for words. The large group of soldiers that are on your side are kind of like casting like hey at the other guards at the moment. It's like, we may die, but you'll lose. All right, that's the thing. Anyway, right. So then she just shoulders off and she leaves, and you notice that some of the guards are actually following her.
Okay.
They follow her her path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so could we have one of the guards that are hanging with us now go get Eric and bring him back here? I think we need to stick together and keep the keys in the vault together. I mean, she's looking really guilty, but maybe she's just insecure and pissed off. We can't let our guard down at this point because there could be somebody else entirely here that's doing all this stuff. So we don't really have any proof that she's a bad okay, I think she's an idiot, but I don't, we don't have any proof that she's
She's very prideful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she probably held her station here for quite some time, and feels like she's deserved a little bit more respect than she's been getting. Who knows?
And we have not been giving her to that, but
Overall, her position
Some
was
of us
totally
have.
understandable. I just think that she's reacting very poorly to some of the facts, even
Yeah,
considering
exactly.
that she's reacting out of
Yeah,
emotion.
she
and
is
all that stuff.
she
But,
is
yeah.
certainly at doubt, and at most she's paranoid as fuck right now. She's like really paranoid.
Yeah.
All right, so right, so
We can see
she
why
makes
we
her way
got
down.
hired to investigate. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm sorry.
Tal or
Why is it-
Lasan, either one of you guys can probably give the command at this point to
Okay.
release Eric out of the office.
Okay. Well, so send a couple of guards. Go get Eric. Bring him here, please. We
Actually,
need to stick together. We need to stop
especially-
whatever's happening.
Actually, that doesn't work actually because Tal has to go now.
why?
Why does Tal have to go now?
Tal has to
To
go and get
open
Eric.
the office door.
Yeah. Tal, you're gonna have to go physically.
The door doesn't open at all?
No,
Not even to get out?
no.
All right.
Okay, so you go with a couple of guards, and apparently we've got like 20 with us or something.
Yep.
So,
You watch the
Okay.
door, and I'll...
all right,
Okay.
All right.
And I've got the
so
take it fast.
Lasan is watching the door. Tal is taking her lead of troops, and Chalaska's taking her lead of troops. She's leaving out the way that you're pretty sure Chalaska's quarters. She's heading towards her quarters at this moment. So you're coming down, and right, what happens exactly? Give me what would it be? It would be a perception. No, it wouldn't be a perception. Insight check. Give me an insight
Me?
check, Tal. Yes,
Ooh, okay.
Tal. Ooh, this is tense, man. It just, oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Okay.
My first bad roll of the night,
Right.
and I'm a little scared.
No, it's fine. So you in your hurry, you want to make sure that Eric is okay. You're very concerned about Eric anyway, so you just kind of like round around the bar there, which is now totally devoid of bartenders, and the kitchen staff has been removed as well, so that's empty. You move in, and you're pointing at those guards, and those guards see that you have a control of a bunch of guards, and they're like, holy shit, okay. So you just gained 6 free guards because they don't know what the hell's going on.
Good.
So the numbers are now
So
really in your favor.
26 guards. We have
Just
an
the flock
army.
AI starts kicking in.
Yeah.
Uh,
So then you're able to open the door. Eric's just, what does Eric do?
Eric just started looking through the papers, and I'm sure he didn't get very far. Just trying to look at the records from yesterday and work my way back and just see if I see any of the missing amounts that there were supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'll say, perhaps you should bring those books to the balcony with us. I'll explain the situation on the way.
yeah.
Right.
We'll just look at them there
Okay.
in front of the walls all night. Oh, it's gonna be a long night.
Okay.
Where's Chalaska then?
She's elected to step down from her post. Maybe temporarily, maybe not.
Well, unless you found out something I don't know, I think we should try and find a way to keep communication open with her, because I'm not convinced that she's responsible, even though kind of not. Anyway, I'll
Yeah,
take
I'm not either.
She's-
I don't think she's responsible necessarily either, but she's definitely obstructing the investigation.
Yeah,
And you know,
kidding.
sometimes that's what gets you. Sometimes it's not the original crime. Sometimes it's the obstruction of justice that gets you in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes. I'm just saying.
When there's too many cops on the case too, that sometimes the cops end up obstructing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, so I'll take the box of papers with like the most recent stuff, so we can go through that while we're. Nothing's going to happen if we're camping out up there with a bunch of people. It's not quite the same as like Tao watching it, but
Yeah.
whatever.
okay.
Still
Right. So
don't know what's going on in the attic. Remember, the attic was a point of interest that nobody goes up into.
Yeah. No one ever goes there. There's no reason to check it out. Uh-huh.
it could be a red herring. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, right. I guess you know what? I'll give it another shot. Let's just see if this works. So Eric, this time, give me an insight check. Oh, Eric's got an insight check.
Insight deception. Is that not? I keep getting faked out because I have a whole bunch of quick skills on my bar there, but insight's not one of them. God damn it!
Boo!
Right. So yes.
We're bad at insight.
Yep. No, you guys then just you leave the office, you leave the bar area, and you're heading up the stairs. I suppose with the books in tow, and Lasan is of course still up top there. Everything seems to be fine in that way. So yeah, you guys can basically call yourselves met back together. You are now one unit once again. What do you want to do?
At this point, I mean, well, we have to look through the books. We've got everything going on. Who's Shalaska's next in command? Is it any of these guards that are with us?
Yeah.
I mean, is it just
Other
her and
than us,
everybody
who's
else's
next in
level,
command?
or?
Right,
Shalaska
basically, yeah. So
stepping
she is like in command when Alaska's gone. After her, there was the first in command.
Is
or I
he
should say
on our side?
the third
He's
in
got a bit
command,
of a
whatever.
headache.
Yeah, he's completely done in.
Oh, he's the one who's
for a while.
unconscious. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, he's blubber boy. Okay.
So all these other guys, they are
just-
the same rank basically.
Same rank. Okay.
They don't.
Well, I think the inn's going to stay closed for like a day while we go through the paperwork. Is what's going to happen.
I think so. It's gonna have to.
possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least the bar. I don't know about
Are
like the entire inn. You're gonna kick everyone out, like I don't know.
Yeah, there's going to be an issue
In
there, I
charge.
suppose. People are going to be wondering what's up. And in terms of the gates outside, do you guys even want to open up the gates for business with anybody, or are you going to keep everything shut down?
That's probably fine. I mean, there's a lot of people like who take care of the day-to-day operations. Like there's a lot of people that do different jobs. You don't need, the manager to be active for things to actually just function. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're basically just setting up camp right here in front of the vault. We've got the keys. We've got the books.
Oh, we're up above the vault. You mean, or like?
yeah, up above the
Or
vault
do we
on
want
the
actually
on the
set-
upper balcony.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just basically
Yeah.
setting up camp here. We send a couple of guards out to get whatever it is we need to set up a camp. We get a table and a chair. We sit down and start going through the books.
This
and
sounds
we're
so
just
boring.
right here. I know. Tell me about
Yeah.
it. But, I mean, what else are we going to do? Oh, let's split up and meet back here at midnight.
Could be a thing.
You
Yeah.
know?
You never know. Right.
So I want to spend one night like this.
Yeah.
Do as much
I
of
think we're gonna
the
have
looking
to.
through the books as possible and see if we can identify any shortage there. If not, then there's something else going on, and then we know to look at some other thing.
Ooh,
So in
big
terms
guy
of-
Focus on
and
the tax
his head
collector.
guard.
In terms of the money that's coming in every day being collected, I would say just go back 1 year. If we got a 100 gold yesterday and we had 100 gold come in a year ago, then there's been no change. Check back 2 years. If it was still, if it's kind of all in the same area, if we noticed that a year ago it used to be 200, then we've narrowed it down to, you go to the 6-month part and see when the change happened, and you just
Okay.
work it down like
sounds
that.
like we should all do investigation rolls or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody
so
needs to start doing
Lisan's going to do
investigation.
look at the year over year, month over month, etc. I'm going to look mostly just back at the recent days and just see how much money, like if there's money disappearing from the vault counts or whatever that's not accounted for.
Oh!
But
What
got a
is
good one.
that? Wow. All right.
Okay, we all did really
Yay.
well, and Lisan was like, yeah. It's like, oh man, I should have been an accountant.
No, no kidding. All
Go
right.
work
so,
for like the Waterdeep
Work
revenue
on a
system.
multi-class ranger accountant. Woohoo!
an accountant
With an accordion, hobby. It's great.
could
Yeah.
be a math magician.
a math magician
and
indeed.
arithmancy.
All right. So now I have to figure out what that 20 does. Because there are different levels, and I don't want to break open everything on just a few rolls. But that is a 20. So I'm
3
like, what's
great
going on?
rolls.
I know. Well, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And the 20 is what's killing me. So I'm going to say that it become. Where did you start, Lisan? Exactly.
I said, we're trying to figure out if money's being stolen from the vault or during the actual collection process. We're just trying to break a line. Do we look at the vault or everything that goes before? So we're comparing last night's take with a year ago. Like Nalasker just said he was losing money. We don't know where the drain is. We don't know where the hole is.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
So-
year over year. Like how much are they making
Yeah.
compared to the same season same date, same time of year last year.
Like we're looking for like a weird sudden drop, right? Like, you know, money goes up and down with seasons and as the town grows and whatever. But if suddenly like you get like a graph that goes like revenue is just cut in half overnight or over the course of the month, you're like, hold on, that's not quite right.
Right.
That's where something's changed. Yeah. Exactly.
When did it happen? And then was someone
or even if it was a great big slow drop, but it was just, you know, instead of doing what it does, it just started, you know, where people just started changing it, right?
Or if it's like specific businesses that have dropped off a significant amount. That's not a guaranteed sign, but that would certainly give us somewhere to look into.
Yeah.
So his thought dancer says year on year, probably comparing the months but not the days. Just kind of like getting a I'm thinking just broad strokes, like Eric was saying he was going back the day before, but I think we could go back an awful lot of days. I figure if we start a year ago, we can kind of get if everything was the same and that's fine, then maybe we need to go back another year. Like, when did this all start? But I'm figuring he would have noticed if it's been over a year. So probably a year ago, it'll either be kind of the same or it won't. And then we have to start narrowing down, just chopping things in half and saying, in this part, did anything happen? Okay.
You know, chop it again. In that part, did anything happen? Until we find that space where the change, or maybe there's no change at all, because maybe the money's being taken out of the vault by somebody who has the ability to do that. Right? So we're just trying to figure out that. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally does. I'm just, so I'm going to start with the lowest roll. So Demonac, are you helping the same endeavor, or are you kind of going more scrutiny?
Yeah, I don't think we can all read the same papers at the same time. No. I know there's to some degree we could, but I think if she's focusing on that, on the historic, I'm gonna focus more on like just what's happening just recently.
Okay, so like within the last week or something.
If there are any variations in the amounts, like between the deposits and the amounts and like the totals.
Okay, so I'll start with you and say that over the last week, or I'm gonna say because to be tonight it'll be only about the week. So over the last week, there have been a certain number of deposits with a certain amount of money, and what you can tell, those deposits are true, and that money is true. You don't see a discrepancy.
I don't see anywhere that money is disappearing from the vault at all.
No.
According to the papers.
Everything seems normal.
Okay.
Quill.
You think the Alastair's just dicking us all around? You think this was all just like a big loyalty test, and there's actually like no theft going on?
Could be.
That would be annoying.
Honestly, we could come to that conclusion in the end and say everything seems fine. Anything you see is your own goddamn problem. But we'll go through this.
And we're like, why do you think money is missing?
Maybe I'll focus more on like expenses. Has a bunch of money been like being paid out somewhere? Like maybe the revenues are all fine, but maybe like someone's being like, there's an overbilling for like a mercenary contract or something like that.
Yeah, checking all the withdrawals and trying to see if they make any sense to you.
Yeah, is someone what's the word when you steal money from a business?
Embezzling.
Yeah.
Somebody's double charging for whiskey, but they're not selling more whiskey.
Exactly.
Yeah,
sure.
Stuff like that.
Misappropriation.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're looking specifically into paid out, if you will, you notice that what you do notice specifically is that there have been a lot more payments going out for certain goods, but those goods have never arrived. You do notice that.
Well, yeah, so like maybe the whole problem is the fact that everything floating down the river keeps getting like obliterated by water elementals. A lot of payments for goods that never and are these goods from all over? Like are they all upstream or some of it like
most of them are
coming
from
water?
The main business there, the main business hub.
And that's the ones that would float down the river.
Yeah.
Are they all from the same business or just in general from that area? Is there a pattern there that we're noticing that one business or one or two are getting paid a whole lot and not delivering, or?
For that, you'd have to compare their notes as well, though. You'd have to go compare the other business notes, like in Yartar. You have to go to Yartar to figure that out.
No, well, we'd know who we were paying. There's going to be a thing that says we paid Joe's whiskey shop, all the time and we never get anything from him.
Oh, I see what
Or
you're saying. Yeah,
is
yeah.
it
No,
this
that's fine.
company, that company, that it's just basically in Yartar in general. What I'm trying to say, are we noticing a pattern that says there is a business or two that might be part of a conspiracy, or is it just basically whatever comes down the river is getting taken out by elementals?
Yeah, no, Tao
Is it
doesn't
kind of
notice
just more of
anything
a-
specific. Nothing
Okay.
to really put
There's
a
not a
blame.
company that stands out.
Yeah, no, there's no one
Okay.
company. It would, if it was to put a blame on anybody, it would be like several companies all
Okay.
together. And the loyalties there are probably gonna be quite consistent because they've been doing business forever.
Okay. So it could just be the water elementals, things that are coming by barge down the river. There's a problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that would be recent, and that is something that you can easily tell.
Oh.
Now, for the sun, finding year by year by year, you notice that the year by year, because in those years, you're able to also find the accounts paid out in terms of the overall amount of money that's paid out to the wages. You know, you can look in on the wages and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
yes. Yeah.
so adding up the wages and figuring out who gets paid what is,
And that would be part of expenses. Yeah. That's
yeah.
part of it.
So you do notice that Nalasker takes a heady chunk off the top.
Of course.
And Chalaska ends up getting, she has progressively been getting paid more and more.
Okay.
And of course, the person in command who is currently unconscious, he has only, as far, you don't even see record of him for a while, but then when he does come on file, he hasn't changed in terms of his pay for a while.
Okay.
There's that what they call the handyman. His name is
Rat boy.
Oh, the dwarf?
yeah. What is his name? He has a name. And so does the other guy too. I don't remember his name. Anyway, yeah, dwarf boy. He's been on staff for quite some time. He's like one of the, you can find records of him way back. He's been around for a long time. And his wages have pretty much stayed the same throughout, as he's made several years of work there. But you know,
And we've not been given any indication of when Nalasker started noticing that he was losing money. Was it in weeks, months, over the last year? Did you just become aware of it a week ago when they sent somebody to contact Tao? Like we didn't get anything, did we? We don't really know what kind of time frame we're looking at. Grins.
Just to be clear, this isn't just a case of we're getting less stuff from upriver because an elemental is taking it all, and that's the whole thing, and we've been investigating for nothing because we already knew that. That's not it.
Yeah, because they would know
They've taken
that.
that into account, and they're still missing stuff.
Because there were a lot of Zentaran bases that we went by. They would know that, right? He's got to be aware of that. Somebody had to survive to fight, or somebody investigated and found out what happened. I mean, that seems like he would know that.
Even if they don't know the cause, if they just stopped getting stuff from upriver, they would
Yeah.
know
It's not
that
a
they stopped
mystery.
getting stuff from upriver, and
Exactly.
they would tell like that. The problem is we stopped getting stuff from upriver. They wouldn't send us to
Exactly.
investigate all
Yeah.
the stuff in Bard.
yeah.
Right. So it's got to be more than that.
Okay, just want to
Yeah.
make clear that that's not the thing, because that would be silly.
So Ava with her nat 20, Lasan must have like a good insight about like if there's anything else that would be weird and confusing
Yeah, there's going
and
to be
not
something.
clearly obvious, but also be a big drain. Hopefully, she would have come up with it. And you're saying that like, so we're basically covered it all, and we're not really seeing anything now, or
You're not noticing a lot. I mean, you could probably get some motive for certain embezzling things because of how the money tends to go. Like if you're not seeing a lot of generosity begin, thrown about. It is
right.
It's all sort of. And the only person who seems to be getting any extra wages over the course of a long period of time has been Chalaska. And Alaska, of course, takes his heady, chunk off the top. But that's...
Yeah, but these are known like pay raises and that and that. So that seems fine. I don't,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I'm kind of okay with like spending the night. Morning comes, we double check that everything is still cool with the vault based on what we know and we've established, and then saying we can't find anything that seems extreme. It looks like maybe Nalasker is freaking out overly much that's from something that's just a result of goods not being delivered. And there has been a lot of chaos in the wilderness. There are some elemental cults that are going on. They might want to, the Zents might want to patrol the river more. We did take care of this water elemental that has clearly been smashing a shitload of stuff.
Yep.
Maybe things will improve now. Maybe you want to sign up some more suppliers from somewhere else, like maybe you want to do overland caravans from Waterdeep instead of depending on just randomly floating shit down a river, which honestly doesn't seem so smart. And, you know, like, I'm okay at that point with saying that. Now, honestly, saying to Chalaska, like, it looks like things are working okay and walking out. But, I mean, that's in the morning. But that's kind of where I am.
Okay.
No, Dr. Puffy, we have no reason to check the attic. We've been told there's nothing going on in the attic. There's no reason to go there.
Yeah, nobody goes to the attic. Okay.
I mean, we're not literally checking every building in the entire place. We're not checking every attic in the entire place. There's no reason for us to do that.
Yeah.
Now there is one thing though. Somebody took the insignia off Chalaska
That's true.
and put them in Eric. There is a deflection or a moving of suspicion attempt going on here.
Yeah.
Whether we have found it or not, something seems to be going on. That's not just, where the boss guy is overreacting to, what's happening on the river with the elementals. Someone else, there is another player in here. And either it was Chalaska herself who is finding a way to remove money that we haven't found yet, or somebody else is trying to set, there's a deflection going on here so there is another element that we haven't found yet.
Yeah.
And Chalaska is the only one who's lost here so far. Somebody just trying to get rid of her?
Yeah, could be.
We're maybe more obvious, who's really, and I can see invisible and stuff like that, and I have dark vision. Who's really stealthy is Tao. I'm wondering if you should just randomly find and follow the handyman, the rat poison guy. Because he's narratively come up a lot.
And he's a dwarf shape.
His pay was one of the ones that was noted in the records there. He was in the bar. He's a dwarf. If the dwarf shape of the shadow did have anything to do with it. Yep. He was handing out drinks like candy earlier, and
that's true.
Yeah.
That is in some respects not odd behavior, but I don't know.
At this point, anyone who's there's still something that's like, well, we know someone's effing around with things, and he has been a little bit odd.
Yep.
He could be a red herring, but he.
Yeah. I can try to shadow him tomorrow.
Okay.
Can we say, and I maybe we don't actually have an answer to this yet, but we've looked at the money being picked up over a period of time from the merchants, and we're not finding any discrepancy there. We're not finding any companies that seem to be billing too much.
It doesn't look like the expected amount has dropped off significantly from certain businesses, because that would be a sign maybe of something going on there if they're just claiming their business was bad.
Yeah. So as far as we can tell, based on what we've looked so far, any money coming into the vault and the bookkeeping, what's going in and out, there's no problems there. If money is disappearing, it's disappearing from the vault. Is that kind of where we are now?
What if the theft hasn't been in the vault? What if it's like Nalaska's personal stash or this or that? Like maybe it's like otherwise. Like the vault might be 100% legit, but when people get paid, they take money out of the vault, right?
Right.
Is it something like that? Although you would have been handy if Nalaska had, said something
mentioned
like,
that.
"Yeah, my little vault in my room is
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I mean, that is something that you can definitely look into. Absolutely. Just go around and checking room by room, as it were.
At some point over the evening, I will be trying to sneak in the
Maybe
6 hours of rest to regen my PowerPoints.
Sure.
By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
That's totally legitimate.
I don't think I've used any since we've been here, so.
You guys could do a rotation as well in terms of who watches the vault.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So for the sake of narrative, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, maybe we have to do searches of this entire place. Is there another set of keys? Do we have to do an absolute detail? Somebody else has managed to get another set of keys, and they're just able to walk in and out and lift money and change the numbers whenever they want. I mean, is that...
You know what? That's a great idea. Maybe we'll start by checking the attic and work our way
boring
down.
as hell, but maybe we just have to run a search of the whole
Top
thing.
to bottom.
In the attic.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what?
Oh,
When you say that, I'm like, all right, you know what? That's what we'll do. Tomorrow, we'll do a sweep of this whole place as one last check. If the books are fine, we'll do a sweep of this entire building, make sure there's nothing weird, top to bottom, starting with the attic. And then at that point, maybe
we get to the attic.
All right. I want an excuse to go to the attic. I wasn't just going to randomly do it. That would be silly.
That would be silly. But I mean, maybe there's another set of keys. Maybe there's another set of books.
That's something.
And
Yeah,
the person
Duke
can
Rascal
get into
says,
the office, and they just switched them when we got here. You know, I mean,
Duke Rascal is recommending you maybe have a shakedown, get everybody in, and have everybody just empty all their belongings just unexpectedly the next day.
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds desperate. That seems like a way to cause a lot of problems and make ourselves unpopular without necessarily accomplishing.
Searching all their rooms, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty bad too. But...
Okay.
Oh God.
We got about 20 minutes left of the stream. Let's power the night and start the search.
Yep, absolutely.
We've got lots of guards. Can you maybe post a couple guards on our quarters just in case?
Yeah.
Also, I have a brother there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, the staff,
I'll
the
go
guards are
with
going to be a bit
check
light
out
at
if
the
he's
moment.
okay, and then I'll come back and we'll leave a couple guards there.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So we
say okay?
Yes.
now.
I'll let him know you should probably hang out in a room. We got a thing going on. It's getting complicated.
Poor Lexi. He just wanted some rest. All right. So for the sake of long-winded narrative, you guys end up doing a short rest. Unfortunately, not a long rest. But you did do a short rest throughout the night, getting all the things that you wanted to get accomplished as far as you know.
I want to take a long rest though.
Oh, you want to take a long rest?
I need some PowerPoints back. That's why. Yeah.
Okay. So for you to get a long rest and somebody still watch the vault, that means okay. So the other two definitely have to get a short rest.
Yeah, we're all there.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. So Tao gets the full rest, and right, it is now the following day. Is anybody going to get up and open the gates as normal, or are you going to keep it locked down?
Yeah, we could open the gates as normal, but we're not going to let anyone into the into the bar or anything like that until we're done our search. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one in the bar area.
Yeah. Guests are advised to stay in their room.
Yeah, we need to tell the guards that everything just stops. Wherever people are, they got to stay in their rooms. If the cooks aren't in, then the cooks don't come in. I think we just need to shut down for a few hours. That'll mess up profits and probably not make us popular, but
yep.
Oops. Yeah, we have a job,
it's just
right?
For the morning. It's just for
we should try and keep the kitchen running so we don't we would like to not ruin their business and reputation and stuff like that. So,
but do we want people moving around? Do we want people wandering in and out of this place while we're doing the search?
People moving around would be more difficult to manage, but at the very same time, it is one of the ways that you could potentially, even though last night was kind of a fiasco, Nalasker was hoping that things could be hush-hush for the most part.
Yeah, we're just going to tell people there's like a bigger rat problem than we thought. We're just taking care of it real quick. Stay in your rooms. We'll have breakfast delivered.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yes, this is more like where I wanted to go. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and the waiters are escorted by
guards.
Guards. I mean, at least, and maybe like two for each one. I mean, oh God.
We found some rodents of unusual size.
I don't think we can have the entire building have everyone guarded, but we can make sure that guards are controlling the access in and out of the bar area here with the kitchen and stuff.
Yeah.
We make sure that nobody they don't know, nobody unusual is coming in, etc.
Okay. Let's get it started.
All right.
We're doing the best we can.
So who's going to go for the gates? Who's opening the gates? So you're going to have it automated.
I'll take the keys, go along and open the gates with some guards.
Okay. Lasan, what do you want to do?
Jane, again.
I guess we're starting the search. If we've got this all set up, then we're starting the search.
And Tal, I'm just wondering if anybody was going with Eric.
Well, we would have sent guards with him, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah, we apparently have control of this place now.
Yep.
Yeah. Do we want to split up? I don't know.
Don't know.
No. Well. Tell you what. The two of us maybe we'll just stick around here for a second while we wait for Eric to unlock the door and come back.
Okay.
Because I think it's daytime. He's got guards with him. There's merchants moving around. He's just got to go straight down the street and back. Probably that's not going to be
too long.
Probably
opening the gates. We're not like bringing a big shipment of money.
No,
so
exactly. Yeah. It's a lot easier, a lot faster to do it that way. Okay.
Just got the keys. I've got the keys chained to me again and stuff, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Right. So so you leave with the keys, and you are going down to unlock the gate. And the wait staff and the servers and stuff like that, they're all not servers, but the kitchen staff and everybody's coming in, so that's fine. You start making food. Apparently, they have orders to have the wait staff serve by room. That's reasonable. So very quickly, what happens is that Eric gets down to the gate proper, and your key doesn't fit.
Oh shit!
Your key doesn't work. What is going on? This is weird.
Have you tried jiggling a little?
Yeah, no.
Turn it on and off again.
I'm just gonna. Well, first off, I tell the guards that something's wrong. The key's been switched, so
when
we're gonna have to check out security, and then I'm gonna whatever is the closest thing that one of these other keys would work on. I'm gonna go try one of the other keys, try and find out if a whole bunch have been switched or what.
Okay, so you can go about the quest of trying to see if keys work, and
I just kind of want to see the next closest one. I'm not going to check all the damn keys. There are lots of keys, but if I check the next one and it doesn't work, then it was all the keys. If I check the next one and it does work, then it was a specific key.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you check out some of the other keys, and no, they don't tend to turn in the locks.
All right, so there are two possibilities. Talaska did manipulate the keys, but it could be that shadowy dwarf thing did more than just drop a badge in your pocket.
It should be pretty impressive since the keys were literally there was a chain link around the keychain.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
Which makes me think Chalaska is less likely to have done it because she doesn't strike me as magic-y. And I don't think a sleight of hand there would have worked. I think it's much more likely that a wizard did it.
If it was just sleight of hand, it does seem like kind of bullshit. So kind of magic, presumably. Okay. I'll tell the guards that we're going to have to raise the security level here, and we definitely have a problem, and I'm going to head back.
Okay. All right. So so you head on back, and the area is going to stay locked down for now, apparently, until somebody finds the damn key. So you come back and you
super locked down.
You tell Tao and the son about the fact that the keys they're not working. So that's not good.
Yeah.
And so what do you guys want to do about that? Where are the keys?
I think we need to find out where Chalaska is. I still not getting, and we need ideas on this. What was the purpose of taking her insignia and putting them on Eric?
Well,
it casts suspicion.
What?
It
From
definitely
what?
casts suspicion.
Suspicion on what? What was the point of stealing
hoping to draw us
them?
away from, if they're hoping to get us either thrown out or in prison or doing a stupid trial while they can sneak it.
It's a red herring.
There's
doesn't
that.
make sense.
There's suspicion on us, but I was actually suggesting another way, which was we go tomorrow and try to use the keys, and the keys don't work, and they've been swapped out, but we find the insignia in there. Is that supposed to lead us to think that it's Jalaska? Someone's trying to screw with everyone and sow distrust, even if it's not clear. This doesn't necessarily make sense, but what has it done so far? It has split the guards in half.
Yeah.
It has made it so that we're not talking to Chalaska. If they were just trying to make it harder for everything to go properly here, they've succeeded.
Because that doesn't even put suspicion on her, really. Oh, I'm switching the keys and my buttons on my shoulder comes on. I mean, it doesn't. It
mostly makes
really
it look like we stole it.
Weird, yeah. But why?
So we want to. I want to. Okay, we get back. We're conferring. First, let's have the guards check if Jalaska has left her quarters at all.
Yeah.
And also, I want to find out where that handyman is, and the tax collector. Who I don't actually think has to do with anything, but we don't want to narrow the focus down quite so tight.
Yeah, the dwarf is the handyman. I think is that who you reference to? Yeah. Handyman? You mean the dwarf?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The rat guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So interesting thing happens. Okay, what are you guys doing first? Let's do the first thing first.
I
Check
think
if
it was-
Alaska's still in her room.
All right.
I was saying send out a bunch of guards to check on these things, but
Yeah, that's fine.
we can go too if you want. But
Yeah. Okay. So either way, you do find out that Chalaska is indeed still in the facilities. She has not left. She is boarded up. She is locked in, and she's got her very large battalion of guards still at her side.
That's fine. Okay. And yeah, we can also set guards to keep an eye on the handyman and the tax collector.
And obviously, if we leave the vault, we're leaving guards to watch the vault. Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shortly after, trying to get the guards to sort of shadow, or not even shadow, just to follow the handyman's going to be like, well, okay, I guess somebody's going to follow me, right? He reports back. The guard who was following the handyman reports back and says that, holy shit, the Lasker's room door was just open. That's not even. It was just like. It's just open.
Someone used the keys to get into the Lasker's room?
It's just open. Like the door, I mean, it was leaned to. It was like sort of like closed to, but not closed.
Yeah.
Just left sort of ajar.
Someone left a jar?
Yeah, they left a whole jar. No lid or anything. It's just what?
Oh.
Mind-boggling.
Okay. I think
that was the guard that went to check on the handyman.
Yes.
as he was walking around, he noticed that.
Yeah. So I want to post guards. Like, I mean, obviously, I'll have to say, my suggestion is that we post guards on Alaska's room right away.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
We go search the handyman's room arbitrarily.
Yep.
And then if we don't find anything, then maybe we go check out Alaska's room.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still thinking a top to bottom search of the inn as well. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, no one goes in and out of that room. Definitely guarded.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You're guarding the room, and you're checking on the handyman's room.
Yeah.
Okay.
The three of us are checking the handyman's room.
Okay, is the handyman present with you? Are you bringing the handyman along, or are you just kind of like letting him do his things?
Okay, well, that part of the thing, we'd never established that we had found the handyman. I don't think you ever pointed out that we had found the handyman.
No, sorry. Okay.
At this point, I was starting to think he was
missing. So the guard who was following or with the handyman, they both found the door ajar at the same time. Okay. They were together.
Okay.
That makes
sense.
So
that doesn't...
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you go ahead.
Well, we can just bring them back with us then, so we have him in sight.
Right, but I was going to say now there's not the same suspicion on the handyman. Like, why would we go to jump and search the handyman's room?
I don't know. I thought we already had. No? We just, I don't know. I thought Demonac said we just arbitrarily...
It is worth saying that the guard's report back to you was specifically that when he was with the handyman pointed out that the door was ajar.
Okay. No, I just thought I heard one of you guys say we arbitrarily searched the handyman's room.
Yeah, that's
I heard somebody
Eric
say
said that, and I wanted to search it, but that's when I thought that the guard had failed to find the handyman.
Yes,
okay.
Because I thought, well, if we can't find the handyman, then you sure as hell bet we're gonna have to search his room.
Yeah.
No, he's reporting for duty.
Okay. All right.
As always.
I don't know. I do kind of want to arbitrarily search his room, preferably without him there. But
yeah.
I mean, I think that's fine. I think, well, what we're going to do, we're going to non-arbitrarily search the whole inn, because clearly, at this point, there is the other set of keys is somewhere here in the inn. Someone just used it to break into there. What else are they going to do with it? So someone somewhere in the inn has the extra set of keys. Actually, out of curiosity, the handyman, do you have keys? Like when you go and do handyman things,
yes.
You have your own keys for getting to rooms?
Yes, I have my own set of keys. And he shows them to you.
And you have them on you, yeah. Let's make sure those work.
Do those open the front gates as well? Do you have keys to everything, or just the rooms?
No, just the rooms, just in case I have to get in and do service repairs.
Right. Does that include Alaska's room?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, I'm trying to figure out what I want to tell you guys next time. Oh, you know what? Would she do that though? Yeah.
Well, see, I'm thinking we have to get him. Okay, go ahead.
You get a couple of guards, actually, and these are the guards that you can tell right away. They're not with you. They approach very, like messengers, really. They're not armed.
Okay.
They made a point not coming armed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you kind of guess right away that they're from Chalaska, and Chalaska does say that.
Okay.
They say that Chalaska has a message for you. Choose to believe it or not. But in her strongbox, there is a fair amount of gold missing.
Okay, because
Yep.
what I was about to say is we need to get a message to Chalaska saying the keys we have been switched. We're searching the inn for it. And obviously, you were the last one. We knew. I don't know how to. So we have to find a tactful way of getting a message to her saying, okay, the keys have been switched.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't, you had a clear opportunity, but we also had somebody, messing around with the buttons and all the rest of it. Again, there's an opportunity here for us to work together on this, but I do believe her.
I think we suggest that there's someone else who was
Yeah.
explicitly screwing with us.
Yeah.
We no longer have functioning keys, and we were clearly spent the entire night in front of the vault, so it wasn't us breaking into Nalaska's room. So there's a third party, and
Yes.
we would like to water under the bridge, work together.
It's another opportunity here to get this
In
done
terms
right.
of clearly spent the night in front of the vault, there are witnesses that we spent the night in front of the vault.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We have been with your guards. There's been a whole body of people watching us the entire time.
Yeah,
So we were not in your room.
and you don't even have to make a wisdom check on this. In fact, this is basically her wisdom check is the fact that if gold is missing from her coffers, while everything that was going on last night, all of you guys were in one spot. So clearly, some misunderstanding must have happened.
Yeah.
Somebody else is at work at play here. So she's not as angry, but she is still pretty fucking angry. But she's not as angry as before. Like she's got her suspicions, but be that as they may. So there's that, and currently, you guys can do whatever. You can still continue to search around. You can sort of look about, roll the investigation.
Top to bottom. Let's search the attic.
Okay.
People have been waiting like
Gotta
over a
search the
week
attic.
for us to search
Okay.
the attic.
Okay.
yeah,
Top to bottom search.
All right. So upon reaching the attic, you notice that it was just as it was noted. Nobody cleans the place either. Like it's just filthy, absolutely filthy.
That would mean a lot of dust on the floor. Any sign of footprints or anything like that?
No, at least give me an investigation roll.
wow.
I think we've got a ranger to track footprints and things.
Yes.
Ooh.
Not me.
So Tal, you see no footprints at all.
Yeah, well, I got a roll
Yeah.
for once.
Yeah. Okay. So that's very interesting. Between Lisanne and Eric, both of you end up noticing a small track of footprints.
Small, like rat-sized?
Small as in I say small as in
As in
Short
Dwarf
size?
sized?
dwarf size.
Short trail.
Right,
But
so
he
shorter
could-
strides, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Short strides and dwarf size.
Mm-hmm.
But he could have just been up here doing rat thing. What else do we see? Anything? Is it just a big, empty, dusty room?
No. There's a lot of stuff up here,
Oh.
but it's you see some
Follow
footprints moving around.
Follow the footprints. They lead to like
Yeah.
a box somewhere or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trapdoor.
You follow the footprints, and it leads to an enormous pile of junk.
Junk golem.
Oh, goody. We're investigating the junk.
There's other.
We're doing the search.
if
We're
you
doing the
find-
search.
Yeah. So again, you're doing the investigation. You're looking around, and because of the other two high rolls, you notice that the dwarf footprints, as light as they may be, they tend to also go in a few other directions, and where they end up, there is new plaster around the windows, like for like sealant, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
There is
Talking.
yeah, basically that sort of thing. There is a few other things that you notice in terms of like just standard masonry sort of repair things here and there. The roof up ahead, the trusses. There is a brand new piece of wood that seems to have been
Okay.
stuck up there.
Check that one.
Doing his jobs?
I mean,
So-
it could be all legitimate, yeah.
We,
I mean, I think
we
we
still
still
have
gotta be
we still
thorough,
have guards with us, like a couple guards with
I'd
us,
imagine.
or
Yeah, we think
I'd
so.
imagine, yeah. And do you have the dwarf with you?
Yes.
Did you guys bring the dwarf, or is that even a thing? He wasn't cast in suspicion, so I don't know if you guys decided to.
Yeah.
I would. My
just kinda
inclination
want him-
was we bring him with us because he has keys to rooms we may not be able to get in on.
That's
And-
true,
it's a
actually.
good excuse to bring him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If our keys-
Because we know our
Yeah.
keys are useless. So if anything's locked, how do we get into anything? So
Yeah.
at least he can open the attic or open doors that might be locked or whatever. So we have him there to,
Okay.
Okay.
So
I ask. I'll just ask him. Hey, is there anything valuable stored up here? You guys said it was like nothing, right? Just old junk.
Yes, old junk. As far as I know, anyway.
Okay. On the junk pile that there was footsteps leading up to, I'm gonna cast Shatter. Just.
What?
Okay.
What?
and all his plasterwork is gone.
Yeah, well, he didn't plaster the junk, I'd imagine.
No,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
how big
so
is his face?
You cast Shatter, and the what is the range on that? Not range, but
it's a
Radius?
60-foot range. It's a 10-foot radius,
okay. So 10
and
feet
like damages objects and stuff.
of stuff just gets obliterated and scatters around the attic, and everybody's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's going on?" You got
Just
some
check.
soldiers pulling out swords, like, you know, they don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna check through the debris and see if there's anything in there, but
Okay.
I'm guessing no.
Yes,
I'm just worried about there being
Iron
something
Fang is
in
rubbing
there
off on you.
waiting
That's
to
right.
attack
You got to
us.
break all the things.
Yeah. Also, technically, Iron Fang is supposed to make me feel more destructive.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
Okay.
So yeah,
So you
seemed like a reasonable thing to me at the time. There could be something lurking in there, and if this stuff's not valuable, and the other thing you see is how the handyman reacts to it too.
yeah.
How's just like, well, that was subtle.
Right. If you want to, insight check, since you're doing it specifically for the handyman.
Yeah.
Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, Eric had a plan, so he's ready for it. The rest of us
Yeah.
are like, the hell?
Okay.
Woo!
18. Ooh.
Nice.
He's probably just disturbed like the rest of us.
Probably.
Oh.
Okay. Right. So in your insight check, there's not a lot in the dwarf's face, but you did just barely see him give an audible sigh, like
Uh-huh.
kind of like like he was holding his breath for a second, and then he just like gave it up.
Well, I hate to say this, but I think that may have to be our cliffhanger for the day, guys. I got to get set up for a
It's
stream.
me. Yeah. We didn't take a break this time, so yeah.
No, we didn't.
No.
Yeah. Huh.
Sometimes when we do take a break, I get some other things started, and I had to reboot the computer last thing this morning, and I have nothing ready. So
Yeah.
we're going to
Yeah.
have to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Just to be quite clear, you guys aren't very far. I'm just saying. If you want to give it just a couple seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we give it a couple of seconds. What happens?
Okay. So I'm going to say that the plan. Eric, what do you want to do with the information that you were just given?
What
So
information was it? The guy just sighed, didn't he?
Yeah.
yeah. Say what? I'm sorry. You said there was nothing important in there, right? It's no big deal. Nobody comes up here anyway, right?
It's just stuff. You know, stuff is still stuff.
I see.
Uh-huh.
So what do you do?
Okay. Well.
I don't know. I'm just gonna sort of check through the debris and see if I can find anything interesting in.
Do you guys help, Lasan?
Yeah. We'll investigate through the debris. So
Okay.
that it's been spread out conveniently for us.
Okay, so you guys check through the debris really fast, and you find nothing of interest except for a strong box. There is a strong box here.
Of course there is. Can anybody open that? Tao, is that your...
Yeah, I mean, unless I sort of pick it up and pointed at the dwarf and say, "Would you care to open this for us, please?"
Yeah, he's got the keys.
I don't know if I can. It seems locked.
Try your keys.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't admit to like being able to do it, then I'll just break out the fuse tools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Click, click.
All right, so you watch.
It's like, no, that's okay. I got my own key.
The dwarf watches pensively as you kind of break out the strong box and you do end up popping the lock, and inside there is a stash of gold, and there is also a set of keys.
Oh, do they look a lot like keys we were previously holding a couple hours ago?
Suspiciously similar to the fake keys.
Yep, it does look remarkably like a set of fake keys.
Seize him!
So the dwarf starts running. It doesn't really help because the dwarf does indeed get caught on the way. I mean, there's no way he's going to get through these guards. He's pretty adept fighter overall, but he's surrounded. There's no way that he's going to give in like that. But he's like, I don't know. Like, why am I being arrested? You know, but yeah, I can explain things later about what happens. But you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and say specifically that. Actually, I'm going to give some amounts of things. You find out in the next day or so, especially what the dwarf was after. The dwarf wasn't really after anything except for exactly what you guys had thought earlier, and that was to cast suspicion, blame, break up alliances and loyalties and stuff like that, because what he wanted to do is cast enough shadow of a doubt upon Nalasker and Shalaska to get them the hell out of there, because he hated both of them.
He hasn't gotten a pay raise in years.
Yes, he hasn't gotten a pay raise in years, and they keep eating off the top, right? More and more and more. He's been there longer than both of them, in fact, and he's never made any gains. He's never made any headway, and he's just been underpaid for his abilities. You know, he's taking care of his place.
He hasn't been stealing from a vault, but he's been skimming off everything else.
He had some kind of magical powers that he used in the bar. So I don't know how did he do that without noticing? Can he just turn off the alarm in there? I should have cast a spell in there to see if it was still going, to see if the alarm was still active. Frig.
Oh, there's that. We'll also have to talk to him. This will be next time. We'll have to talk to him about what he did in the Lasker's room and all this sort of stuff. But we do have to put a cut in here for sure.
But I'm gone. So
all right,
I'll see you guys next time.
Being here. Everybody's just going to have a live stream. What are you streaming? Oh,
I don't know. Like I said, I had computer problems this morning. I have nothing set up. I have to go. I will be streaming some damn thing.
Okay,
see you soon.
I will be hosting you, so I'll see you in a bit. All right. So
bye, everyone.
Wrap it up for now. We have run clearly out of time, and so we're going to see everybody again later. That is going to be the close or the semi-close of the whole mystery that was afoot there. Until next time, Quill18. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me at youtube.com/Quill18, twitch.tv/Quill18, and twitter.com/Quill18.
Okay, very good. And Demonac, where can people find you?
You can find all my stuff on my social media at demonac.com, and of course, Tales from my D&D campaign, fast-paced illustrated D&D adventures at youtube.com/demonac.
Perfect. And as well as Kiss for Luck, I'm about to host her here in just a second, so you'll find her easily there. But a Kiss for Luck everywhere. So a Kiss, 4, Luck, and yeah, you'll find her in all the places. Even the social media is the same, so she's lucky like that. And as for myself, you can find me here at twitch.tv/Briarstone, on my YouTube, Briarstoned, with a D at the end of it. And of course, social media, if you want to find me there, you can just scroll down and find all the things there. It's in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube, and of course, down below watching this on Twitch. Anyway, so we will see everybody again later. Thank you once again for being here, and I hope you had fun. See you later, everybody.
Bye.
There are tons of Let's Plays on all my friends' awesome YouTube channels, and if you want even more concentrated D&D goodness, check out Tales from my D&D campaign.